Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jonathan.tiedman and this is, well, she's not here right now. She's not able to make this one, but as you guys know, my wife, Heather.Tiedman, beautiful lady, love of my life. She's not able to make this one, so it's just going to be me. But like I said, I'm Jonathan.tiedman and I'm with the Lexington group powered by eXp Realty. And today we're going to talk about my experience moving to South Carolina from New York. I figured since it's just me, we can talk about me. All right, stay tuned and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Welcome back again. So today we're going to talk a little bit about my experience moving to South Carolina. I moved from Long Island, New York in 2004. I was 14 at the time. I was a freshman in high school. A lot was changing around me. And then on top of things, moving 5 states down, it's a pretty big deal. So I'm just going to touch base a little bit on that kind of stuff, kind of give you what I felt and what was going in my head as a 14-year-old kid moving. Because some of you guys moving to South Carolina, you have kids and you don't know how they're going to react or how they're going to feel. It's a big change, whether it be temperature or the school systems. You know, is the South really as bad as people say it is and things like that? Because there's a lot of stigmas and stuff like that. So I'm just going to touch base on that kind of stuff and kind of give you guys a personal vlog, if you will. So around November 2004, my parents closed on a house down here in South Carolina. It was out in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't necessarily Lexington. But we moved down. It was like November 3rd, I think it was. I was a freshman. I started my classes and it was different. It was really different. I went from having, a big school where I'd walk class to class to class and I didn't know everyone in the school to coming down here where we had 4 different buildings that were classes. And that was different for me. And so I'd go from the annex on one side, and I'd walk all the way up past the main part of the building, go down, and I'd have agricultural studies, which I didn't know was a thing. We didn't do that in New York, but in South Carolina they have ag and things like that, things that are pertinent to the area. So as far as like my interaction with students, kids are kids. I mean, I had kids that I liked in New York. When I moved down here, I found a group of friends that I fit in with. There are always going to be people who were mean or said things that hurt my feelings and things like that, but like normal, I just kind of pushed them to the side and focused on my friends group. Big difference was you knew everyone in the school, literally everybody. I had a graduating class of like 80 people, which is different, very, very different. So people's business gets spread around when you're in a small town like that. Lexington, not so much. I didn't go to school here, but the graduating classes are significantly larger than from where I graduated, and so I imagine it'd be similar to more of a city style where you don't know everybody. The temperature was a big deal. When I moved down here, it was hot, even though it was November. We were having temperatures like 20 degrees in New York, and I came down here, it was like 40. It's a big difference. I still wore shorts because I never learned. Still haven't. And the summers were tough. So going through a summer, my first summer in South Carolina, I tried to stay indoors as much as possible. I mean, I walked outside and I'd start sweating immediately. The humidity, and it was tough. It was tough to adjust to. I'm going to be honest, there's nothing I liked about it. But now that I've been down here for a while, the temperature's not bad. I mean, it gets hot in the summers, but it's not the hot like it was when I first moved here. So you definitely get acclimated to the situation. When I started my first job down here, off the books, of course, it was baling hay. So I would ride on the back of a tractor on a giant trailer. It was a square baler, and we would take the bales of hay and stack them up, probably about 5-6 loads high on the trailer, and cart them off to the shed and take them off the trailer and put them in the shed for storage. That's a tough job. That's not something you're going to do in Long Island, New York. So it was definitely an experience for me. Paid really well, but not something I went back to. It was tough. High school opportunities. There was a lot of different opportunities for me when I moved down here that I didn't have in New York, and then I lost out on some opportunities. So I played violin when I was in high school, and I really loved it. I did NISMA, and I went to that and excelled at it. I got really good reviews on that. So violin was a passion of mine. Down here in my school, they didn't offer violin or strings, so I had a choice to do band, but I didn't really want to learn a different instrument. But I also had ROTC down here in South Carolina, which was JROTC, which was exciting, and it was a new passion of mine. So I lost violin, but I gained JROTC. So in the school I was in, I loved it. I excelled at it. I performed extremely well. I graduated JROTC, the highest rank you could. I was a command sergeant major of the drill team, and I led the drill team to our events and things like that. And the students that I trained, being as part of the drill team, went on and performed extremely well years to come off the foundation that me and my classmates have set, because we started the JROTC program in that school. So that was really cool. That's an experience I wouldn't have had in New York. I'm not saying that schools in New York don't have JROTC classes, but I had never heard of it until I moved down here. So another big experience I had moving down here was the layout of the land. So in New York, it was very suburban, and we had blocks. Blocks isn't really a thing down here. People don't say it's 2 blocks up the road or 3 blocks down or anything like that. There, it's just, where I moved, it was just land. There was cotton fields. And, you know, I used to walk to my friend's house. Now, if I walk to my friend's house, I better be a marathon runner, because it was 10, 15 miles down the road. So that was a big deal. As I got older, met my wife in high school, we got married, decided that the country life maybe wasn't for us, and we moved towards Lexington. We're very happy here. This is more suburban and things like that, kind of like it was in Long Island, if you guys know what that looks like. But the houses are close. They're not right on top of each other. Some subdivisions are, but they're not right on top of each other. Like, I can look out my window now and see my neighbor's house, and I can see 3 houses out my window. It's a very big window. So it's not bad, though. I really enjoy it. This gives me more of the life that I was used to in New York, the things that I missed, because neighbors were a big deal to me. I loved having kids to play with when I was young, and being able to go to my neighbor's house. My kids can now play with the neighbors, and they go up the street and play with them. So moving to the countryside, I did not like that. I missed my friends. I missed being able to walk up the street and things like that. There was nowhere to walk here. So definitely having that now, and coming to Lexington, this has been kind of like my home away from home. It definitely has a lot of the great things that New York had, but it doesn't have everything. If you guys are familiar with the different foods, bagels and pizza are big staples in New York and things like that. We don't have that. We have some bagel shops, but they don't taste the same. And pizza is always hard to find and hit or miss whether it's going to be good or not. Everyone says they have the best New York style pizza, but none of them do. So New York didn't have things like biscuits and gravy, which is a big thing here. White gravy on top of homemade biscuits, and people love it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but they do have things like grits, which I never tried until I was in South Carolina. Grits are like grinded up corn. It's like, you can have it for breakfast, or you can have it like shrimp and grits or things like that. I'm sure you've heard of. So there's a lot of different things to consider when you're moving to South Carolina that might not always be top of mind. My experiences won't be the same as your experiences, but at least you kind of have an idea of what a high schooler went through coming down here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was kind of short. Maybe you liked it, maybe you didn't. If you did, drop a like, leave a comment. Feel free to ask me a question if I didn't talk about anything or any aspect of moving that you guys did want to know about. I'd be happy to share. But long story short, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good day. Bye!